Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is July 30th and basically the end of the month, so it's time to share my completed works for the month, and I've colored everything that I think I'm going to get completed, so let's go ahead and get started. As I always say, these are in no particular order, but I will start with this one because I literally just finished it like 5 minutes ago and I just want to get it out the way because it's kind of still damp. But I have a picture in A Million Bears by Lulu Mayo, and this is my first picture completed out of this book as I just got this in June. So here we are. I chose to do the page that's pretty much the opposite of the title page, and I chose this one because I love tea and it's just so adorable with the bears and the bunnies working in the tea shop, and I love matcha and green tea. That's my favorite tea, and yeah, if I had to choose, it would be my favorite. And so I just went ahead with that matcha green tea theme and kept the tea green here. And I basically only used brown, purple, and green. And I used Neo Color 2 for the background. Everything was done with my new Holbeins I got for my birthday. And Posca pen, glitter gel pen, and a bit of stickles on my panda bear hats. So I'll just bring it up closer so you can see all the glitter, and I have no self-control, so of course I had to put a bunch of glitter and some stickles on this page to enhance everything, even my panda bears, their black glitter. And I gave everyone cute little blushy cheeks because I thought it would be a little adorable touch. But yeah, I had a nice time coloring this the past two nights. I started it last night and then I finished it up just now. But yeah, this was really nice to color, and now all of my books by Lulu May are all colored in except my Million Dogs one, and y'all know that's still a whip, and I'm not going to show it because I said I will put myself in the shame corner if I did, and I don't want to go there right now, so I'm not going to show it. But here is the finished result of this page. Okay, next I have a picture. It's actually from Jasmine Beckett Griffith's Mermaid book. Do I even have it next to me? No, I do not. Okay, so it's from the Jasmine Beckett Griffith Mermaids book, and what I've taken the liberty of doing is copying it on Strathmore color pencil paper, and this was a buddy color with my fabulous friend Frances, and I will try to insert the image of her picture in the video because I have a new editor and I really want to try out some stuff, so I'm going to see if I can insert it in the video, and if not, then it'll just be a separate thing that you see. But yeah, she was working on this picture, and then I said, oh, I've always wanted to do that picture, I'm going to join you. And because I love this image so much and I can make copies of it, I went ahead and copied it, and I used all Prismacolor. If you want to see the pencils I used on this skin, you can go to my Instagram, which is at kpcolors17, and you can see the pencils that I use for her skin, because I do post a lot of skin, and well, mostly that's the only thing that I post the color combinations for on my Instagram, so you can check that out. But I really wanted to just do a different color skin because she's a mermaid, and any opportunity for me to go ahead and do an abnormal human skin tone, I'll go ahead and do it. So yeah, I chose blue, and I have some glitter gel pen on here just for the black, and I'm surprised that I did not do stickles to the death on here. I just wanted to keep it how it was and just use the black glitter gel pen, and then the glitter gel pen on this angelfish, I think he is. But I was very much inspired by how Jasmine Beckett Griffith colored the crown, because I think this is called Crown of Air and Sea or something, the original painting. So I basically color everything for the crown like how she did in the painting, or I tried to replicate it as best I could. I used black acrylic matte paint for the background. Of course, there's Posca, and like I said, Prismacolor. I did Posca to make this look more scaly. And yeah, I had a really nice time coloring this, and if you can see in her eyes, I tried to draw some veins and whatnot in there. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with the end result of this picture, and I tried to do the Posca method where you color with Posca and then you go over with pencil. So it is kind of difficult because you can scratch the Posca off even if it's dry. But what I found out about doing this was if I do one simple stroke of white instead of like breaking up my lines of outlining something, if you do one simple stroke and you get it opaque enough to black out the black line, when you go over with the pencil, it'll pretty much cooperate with you. But if you stop, like you do this with it, it kind of like is hard for the pencil to go over. So I don't know if that's a good enough explanation, but I hope, you know, I conveyed what I wanted to say. Anywhoozles, this was the end result of her. I'm really proud of her, and I'm happy that I made a copy because I am able to color her again in a different way if I so choose. So let's move on to the next picture. Okay, so now I have one done out of the classic comic coloring book, and I couldn't wait to get this book, so I immediately started a picture like a couple days after I got it. And I did this one, and I was able to find the original comic cover, and if I'm able to, I'll put it up somewhere on the screen so that you can see the original. But yeah, I finished this on July 4th, which I was very adamant about because in my mind I had an idea of what to do with her swimsuit, and I made it very America Pride. I did our flag, and I went ahead and did Posca on her swimsuit, her bracelet, and I have some red Posca on her shoes, and I just went over with glitter gel pen. I don't know if it's catching. And yeah, this was done with, I want to say her skin was Black Widow's and everything else was Prismacolor. I used Neo Color to do the sky. There is some metallic pen on this telescope. Paris doesn't, I don't know, whatever. And yeah, on these things. And so originally I had done the boat a different way, and I tried to replicate her shadow, but I really did not like how I did it, so I just went with a simpler shadow. And the boat was supposed to be white, but I just went ahead and made it this color because it wasn't looking right when I was trying to just leave it white. And yeah, it's super tips here, and then it's some more Neo Color 2 in the water. And I did my acrylic paint marbling effect for the deck of the yacht or the boat because I figured, you know, she's on a fancy one, so it's going to be marbled. Plus, I didn't like the wood that I had drawn on the floor. I tried to do a wood grain and it looked horrid, and so I was like, yeah, let me just go ahead and make it marbled. That way it can be more fancy. So yeah, I think her name is Torchy from the comics. So this was the end result of this one, and there is some glitter gel pen on up here too. And then I think I used super tips for this part and then went over with pencil, but it's like really, I mean, you can see the shading, but it's kind of wonky. But yeah, this was the end result of this one. Oh, I put glitter gel pen on her lips. I didn't even notice. Cool. Okay, so let's move on to the next picture. All right, moving on. I have another one done from Lulu Mail this month, and this one is from A Million Mermaids, which I also purchased at the same time, A Million Bears, back in June. And I chose to do this picture, and I chose this picture because the cat had balloons, and I thought, you know, it could be a cute birthday scene because my mom and I celebrated our birthday on July 15th. We are Cancers, so I drew the Cancer star constellation and then the Zodiac sign in there. And then this was black matte acrylic paint, and then I watered down some acrylic paint and it made this cool water color effect, and I just went with it because that wasn't my intention at first. It really was just to water it down enough to splatter, but I kind of like how it turned out. And yeah, this was the end result of this one, and I used our favorite colors. My favorite color is purple, my mom's favorite color is blue, so I just kept it pretty much to that color scheme to complete this picture. And there is some wink of Stella on my unicorn, on the balloons, and on the waves, and the glitter gel pen on this shell. So I basically put it on all the mermaid tails and whatnot because I did not want to mess up the texture for this picture. But in this book there are like a ton of like little birthday pictures, and I could have done so many because I was going to do this one at first because he had the balloons. I guess it's this cat's birthday, the whole book. I don't know. He is just partying it up if it's not. Or he just likes balloons. See, he's here with balloons and they have presents. They're bringing him presents. So I was like, oh, I could have done so many ones for a birthday. It's another one in here too. And I was like, how appropriate, because I was looking for a picture that pretty much looked like it could be a birthday scene. There's another one, if I'm not mistaken, or that's the only ones that I'm thinking of. I don't know. I thought it was another one. No, guess not. Anyway, yeah. And I also use super tips to make like these dots on here and on their bellies. And then I think I used super tip marker in the water along with Posca. So yeah, that was the end result of this picture, and I really like all the glitter. And Lulu Mayo really liked my little unicorn because she commented on my on my picture. So yeah, that was the end result of this one. Okay, so I was hyped just like everyone else when I was seeing Hannah Lynn draw sketches for this book, and I really like this one. Anything to do with the time, I really like that she's done. So I have one completed from Whimsy Girls Through the Decades by Hannah Lynn, and I chose to complete this one. And I chose to do the simplified version because I liked her background in this one, and I really didn't want to paint that out because when I do this one, I want to do the background. So I chose the simplified picture to do, and her name is Workout Wendy, if I'm not mistaken. And y'all, it was like a biblical thunderstorm outside when I was coloring her. My power electricity went out like 4 times trying to color this picture. So I was like, look, if she comes out looking crazy, I'm going to chalk it up to I could not see. So yeah, she got done by the end of that night by some miracle. And yeah, I put some stickles on her headband and her little bra straps and her weight, and she has some glossy accents on her eyes, her lips, and her little scrunchie up here. And I did put stickles here on her shirt. I used my Arteza gouache. There are some cool neon colors in it, and to me 80s just mean neon. So I just went ahead and used my neon for the background and for the stripes on her shirt. It's actually 2 different colors I mixed together. I did orange and pink. I do have some neon gel pens too, but I don't think I used any. I just used my gouache. And this is actually marker because I have some fluorescent marker colors. Yeah, so I did do a marker base for a lot of it, and I believe her hair is super tips and not alcohol marker, but where it ran through is alcohol marker. And so yeah, I used my Prismacolor, if I'm not mistaken. I know I used my Prismacolor for all the clothes and her hair and everything, but I'm not sure what I used for her skin. I don't know if it was Prismacolor or if I used Black Widows or if I used Artezas. I'm not even sure. But yeah, for all the neon and the splatter and everything, that was my gouache. I just used a bit of water in the gouache to water it down a bit. And the green is the acrylic paint I have because it comes in a bright color. But yeah, this was the end result of this picture. I had a lot of fun coloring her, even though, you know, it was a storm from hell outside. I got her done, and I really like her. So we'll move on to the next picture. Now I have one from Vintage Model Adult Coloring Book, and I tried to color in a book as soon as I get it so that I don't have a book that's uncolored. So I went ahead and colored this one not too long after I got it, and they don't have names. I didn't name her, but yeah, as you can hear, I used Posca to death on this border, and I used super tip. All the background is done with super tip markers and glitter gel pen to outline some things to make it more interesting. This was just a regular like metallic gel pen, but it's super scratchy. I don't know why I did that. And I used my Ganzai Starry Gold watercolor paint for all the gold you see reflecting on here. I even put some on her eyes just because, I don't know, I just felt like it. So yeah, this was the end result of this picture, and I used... Did I use Prismacolor? I don't know. If you want to see her skin, the colors I used for her skin, you could check out my Instagram because I know I definitely posted it there. But I want to say I used my Prismacolor, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. I just know she's colored and she's done. So yeah, I really liked how I did her hair, and I used a super tip marker base purple for her hair, and then I just went in with black and a darker purple. So I know I used Prismacolor on her hair. I really think I used Prismacolor for her skin, but I really just cannot remember because I don't write stuff down. But yeah, this was the end result of this picture, and I really like how she came out. And I wanted to do red glasses for some reason, and I kind of did them an ombre because they're darker and then they get lighter, but I don't know if you can really tell. And I really like the color of her eyes. I think they're like a grayish jade green-ish because that's the colors that I used. But yeah, that was the end result for this picture. So here I have Romantic Country the Third Tale, the Japanese version. Yes, I have the English version, but I have the Japanese version now, and the paper is a little bit more toothier and I can layer more, so I'm super excited about that. And I found that out because I did this picture a couple of nights ago, and maybe I can zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So I chose just to do this little intro picture to test out my Holbeins on this paper, just to test out my Holbeins and the paper. And yeah, I just completed this one, which is Elena and Josette, the little duck or goose or whatever she is, he is. And I really had fun completing this one. I say this was a quick one on my Instagram, but legit this took me probably like 3 hours. I stop and start a lot. I get distracted. Anywho, I use chalk pastel for the background. I use glitter gel pen to create some little interesting background effects. And like I said, this was all done in Holbein's, save for my feather pen. I used my Sharpie pen to do that, and I used my Sharpie pen to give Elena curly pigtails. I always do that pretty much now for when I color Elena. And I used the Sharpie pen to do this checker print on the flag. And I used white Posca pen on Josette to give him a bit more feather definition. And he does have some glitter gel pen on his vest. And I drew little polka dots on his bow. And there's some glitter gel pen on the flag pole wand thing. Anyway, yeah, this was the end result of this picture. And I really like how it came out. And my Holbeins actually felt harder on this paper. And then when I use it in my Lulu Mayo books, they are like way more creamier. But I pretty much could figure that out because polychromos are creamy on Lulu Mayo's paper. So I figured it's a wax oil pencil like the polys. They do good. And they do. They were a little harder on here, but they're still good. So yeah, that was the end result of this picture. So I have one finished for Christmas in July. I don't really know who hosts Christmas in July. I just had heard of it 3 years ago when I started to color, that it was a thing. But I mean, I guess it's like a universal coloring community thing. So for Christmas in July, I completed a picture in The Magical Christmas by Lizzie Mary Cullen. This was a buddy color with my fantastic friend Frances. I'll try to put a picture of her somewhere on the screen again because I want to try out my new editor and see if I can do it. If not, you won't see it. That's pretty much that. But yeah, I went ahead and we chose to do this one. And I used my ink tints on here along with some Prismacolor, I think, to darken some things. I'm wondering if I used polychromos, but I think I used Prismacolor if I went and darkened everything. So hopefully you can see the whole thing. Am I zoomed out all the way? No, it's not. Makes sense. Okay, so here is the end result of the galleries at Lafayette, Paris. Now I have some inspiration pics that I looked up this place because I never heard of it or been there, and I looked up some inspiration pics, so I'll try to put it on the screen or show you somehow. But yeah, it's beautiful, and I really like the purple that I saw in one of them, so I try to incorporate the purple. And then the archways kind of look brown, bronzy gold, whatever, so I tried to replicate that. And then yeah, like I said, I basically used my ink tints, and this is my ink tints dry. I really liked how her hair looked. They look kind of glittery, so I used a black and a blue, I believe, or a gray, and then I just left it like that. I didn't even activate it with the water because I thought it looked so cool. So of course what I took the liberty of doing was I drew a little bit of extra fuzz on my little penguin here because he reminds me of that penguin from Surf's Up. And I went ahead and used my fine liner to do some little triangles on him. I call him Albert Einstein because that's what his hair looks like to me. And I put a little bit of polka dots on my teddy bear's bow tie. And of course there are stickles galore. Whoops, sorry. There are stickles galore on here. And I think glitter or metallic gel pen up here. So yeah, that was the end result of this picture. And I had a lot of fun. And I used my Posca to just make it look like there are some tracks in the ice, because I made this ice, quote unquote, and I was inspired by coloring with Elena to do the ice like this. And I went ahead and just went and made her dress sparkly with Posca. I drew little skates on her, but because her legs are so smushed together right here, it was kind of difficult. So, but I tried to make it look like it's skates. And she has stickles on her tights, if you can see that. But oh, and gold. I think this is metallic pen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a pen. Yeah. So enough about that, and we will move on to my final picture, I believe. Okay, finally, so I'm not talking y'all's head off, I have a picture in Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings by Hannah Lynn. This picture was so fun for me to do, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, I enjoyed every second of it, even though I thought I would not, because I don't like the color trees, I don't like the color grass, I don't like the color flowers, but I had a nice time coloring this picture. So I based a lot with alcohol marker, as you can see, and then I went over with pencil. So I've used Prismacolor for pretty much the whole of the picture actually. And I used my Verithins and Posca to do this grass back here because this was not there. I think I can show you the other one. Yeah, right. So this is how the grass was looking. And then I went ahead and took the liberty of drawing my own grass. So yeah, she has stickles on her rose because I'm like, it's a special rose, obviously. And she picked it from this bush, so I made them have stickles. But yeah, I really enjoyed every second of this. And I never noticed this little deer back here until I started coloring, and the bench and the swans. So many little details in this picture that I did not pay attention to. But because I'm over summer and I'm just ready for fall, and I didn't want to just have green on green because I get bored and I don't like to color grass and trees and stuff anyway, I decided to break up the monotony and do like some fall autumn colored bushes and trees. And I thought it would, you know, kind of interrupt with the sunset, but I think it all goes together. I really like how it turned out, and she is one of my most liked pictures recently on Instagram, so apparently I did something right. And so yeah, I used some 3 glossy accents on the windows of this castle back here, if you can see that, and like I said, the stickles. And I just really had fun like doing the shadows back here and everything. So yeah, this was a nice one to do. And oh, washi tape. This is one of my newer washi tapes. I think I don't really like this pattern. It did not jive well with me when I was trying to do it, but I mean, it's here and it's okay. I just knew I wanted her dress to be purple, and I figured this pattern would go nice with purple, so that's why I chose to do it. But yeah, this was washi tape that I went ahead and put on her dress. And if you look in her eyes, I really like the color of her eyes. And I actually used orange in this skin tone for the first time, and I don't know if you can tell, but I really like how it came out. I think it looks cool. And yeah, I used Verithins in her hair along with doing this grass too, by the way, other than it being regular Prismas on top of marker. So this was the last picture that I have to show you all. I can show you all something that super frustrated me this month because I was trying to record for y'all, but I don't have a lot of memory on my phone, which basically explains why I don't have coloring chats and whatnot. Plus, you know, I feel like, I don't know, my channel isn't what it used to be as far as views is concerned, so they kind of like just it's not motivating enough for me to film. But I will show something that I was trying to film for y'all, and technically it's a whip, but I just never went back to it because of frustration and reasons. But I'll show you in a second. Okay, so technically I've concluded everything that I've colored for the month that I completed. But I have this, so I was trying to film this for y'all 3 times. I even wrote down the colors and everything. This was the first one. I was trying to show y'all this because I was playing around with shadow and I really liked how it turned out. So I was like, oh, let me try to record it. So this was the first one. I semi-recorded it, but then I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out, so I didn't finish, but I finished it on my own. Then I went to this one because I have this in a PDF form as well as the book. So I printed this out, tried to film this, didn't have enough memory on my phone, tried to film the one in the actual book, filmed it somewhat, ran out of memory on my phone. So after 3 times me trying to color in this damn picture, I was like, look, my morale for it is dead. I don't even want to finish any of them, so I didn't. But I was trying to record this for y'all because I thought you would like to see how I did the shadows for this skin. But alas, I have no memory. But what I want to do with this picture is go ahead and get watercolor or ink tints kind of crazy and do these roses and the flowers in ink tints or watercolor or something. But yeah, I just, it was a headache. I just couldn't get it together. My phone has no memory. Okay, I'll show y'all the last thing and then I'm done talking a hole in your head. The last thing that I tried to finish this month was a picture in the Splat. This is a Coloring the 90s Nickelodeon coloring book. And I actually had started this and, you know, it was kind of like gung-ho to finish it, and then it died because I was not about this water. And then this paper is just absolutely horrible. I hate it. Some people like it. It's just too smooth. Y'all know me and my layers, and the pencil and whatnot is just not trying to work for me. But I used an alcohol marker base, as you can see, because this is pretty much the back of the book. I used the alcohol marker base, and then I had went over Fill and Live with pencil. I did a little shadow here. And then their skin is the only thing that I went over with pencil. Everything else is just based, and I just have to go ahead and shade everything. And the water I'm thinking of doing in gouache because I really like how, hold on, let me show you. Okay, so I had went back to my Naked Santa picture that I've had abandoned for like 2 years now. And I went over all the water with gouache, and I really like how this came out. So what I was going to do was essentially the same thing for this water, but again, my motivation for this picture died. It's in the water floating. And yeah, I hope to do that when I feel for this picture, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Like, I have a couple of ideas for this picture, to do decorations on Chucky shorts with my fine liner, draw the flowers that's usually in Susie's dress with my fine liner, like do some fun stuff, but I just haven't done it. But yeah, this is in suspense for right now. So that's everything that I've colored this month, and a few whips. And I actually started sketching this month, which is kind of fun, and I kind of been trying to crochet the past few days, so I've been keeping busy, and I managed to finish 9 pictures this month, which I haven't done in quite a long time, especially since last month I only did 3. So that's saying something. Anyway, I babbled enough in this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope everyone's staying safe and sane out there, and I'll see you all in my next video.